Hey guys, it's Trigax here, and sorry for my soft voice as it is late at night, but today we're going to be learning how to install a custom firmware and a EmuNAND on our 3DS. Uh, so we all know why you want to do it. You want to install those CIAs, huh? You want to pirate stuff, huh? Yeah, this is the right place. Anyway, so all my little Nintendrones, let's do this. So first of all, for a prerequisite, you should have a firmware 9.2 or under. Now, if you're wondering, like, oh no, I'm on 10.2, whatever, you gotta downgrade, which is possible on 10.2 to, I think, 10.3 and down. If you're on 10.4 and above, you're boned until a new kernel exploit is found, which that's probably not going to be until for a little while. Except everything under 10.4, you should be able to downgrade to 9.2. You could find other tutorials to do that. But basically, if you're on 10.4 or above, or 10.5, screw off from this video, because you're going to get stuck. Anyway, so let's get started. Also, you're probably going to want an SD card with about 4 gigabytes of space. Now, really, you're going to want to have more than 4 gigs if you're really going to be installing anything. So I'd recommend getting a SD card with a bit more space if you're going to do this, but 4 gigabytes is enough. Barely. Anyway, so let's do this. So you're going to want to download this file from the description, and this is going to have all the steps for each part of the process. Oops, I'm opening Windows. Anyway, so got 1, 2, 3, and so we're going to be using these files. You're also going to want to have an SD card reader, because we're going to be putting the files onto the SD card. So now let's go move over to the 3DS for starters. Alright, so welcome to the 3DS cam view. Now, sorry for the purpleness, because HTC makes fantastic cameras. It's really just testament to their ability. Now, I'm just doing this for buffoons that don't know how to check their system settings, so they don't go with this tutorial. Go to system settings, or see their firmware. You want to make sure it's 9.2 or under. If it's not, downgrade. If it's 10.4, sell your DS and get a new one. Alright, let's hop back over to the PC. So now that you know that your 3DS is on the proper version, so you don't waste your time with this tutorial, because for people this is not for you. Let's get started. So you're going to want to put your SD card in your computer. I actually did not set up any data on it. Oh, okay, it's fine. It should still work. Usually you're going to have like a Nintendo folder 3DS thing. If you put Homebrew, you're going to have some Homebrew folders on here. That doesn't matter. Also, if you have Homebrew, you might want to back that up, because it's going to get deleted later in this tutorial. Anyway, so you're going to want to go to this folder, go to the first one, and just put in launcher.dat. And that is all for this step. Let's go back to the 3DS. Alright, so now here we have our menu here. Just creating home menu information. I'm actually going to go change my theme real quick so it creates the theme metadata information. Or theme management information, whatever. Gotta make sure it's fully done. This is just going to be for the menu hacks that we're going to do later. It's actually, that was useless. I didn't need to do that, but whatever. I did it anyway. Anyway, so you're just going to want to go to your internet browser. Let's take out our stylus for that pesky writing. Now here we're going to want to go to a specific website and need to make sure you have that SD card in here with that launcher.dat file on here. I'm actually going to clear my history and cookies, because sometimes it doesn't crash if you don't do that. Or, I mean, sometimes it does crash if you do that. Or if you don't. I'm stupid. Anyway. Just do that. And then you're going to want to go to launch.rxtools.net. It should be on screen. You're going to go to that, and it should start loading the payload. And it'll probably crash once or twice. Now, if launch.rxtools.net doesn't work, you do have an alternative. You could try. You could go to, what was it? Wait, I'm trying to remember the, yeah, here we go. It's going to be go.gateway-3ds.net. Some people, it really depends. I believe they both properly launch the payload. I might actually be wrong about this, because I know this is a gateway firmware that we're about to load. But I thought you could just launch it with the RX Tools Launcher. That might have been on a past version of the site. But sorry for that was a little waste of time. I'm being very inefficient here. Alright, here it goes. I should have just done that in the first place. It loaded. And it's going to load this gateway thing. Now you're probably thinking, oh, it's scary, it's gateway, and what's it doing? Well, it's going to format your SD card. So we're just going to go over. You control with a D-pad, can't use the circle pad. You're just going to go to the right until you get to format EmuNAND. Just going to press A on that. Press start. Got to make sure your SD card is in here, and it's going to start. Remember, this is going to delete all save data on, or anything that's on your SD card. Any save data, anything, it's going to be deleted here, so just be wary of that. And I will see you once this frickin' 17-year process finishes. So, after your 17 years has passed, it's going to say it's done formatting. Press A to exit. Just hold that power button until it force shuts itself off. Give it a minute. And say goodbye to gateway firmware. They suck for everything besides that. Well, they're pretty good for backups, but no one likes gateway firmware. Anyway, so we're gonna launch it up just so it could create a home menu and theme management information again. It's just nice to have that, since we are not formatting the SD card again, and when we install menu hacks, that is going to be of use. Well, you don't have to install menu hacks, but I'm going to be going over that. Alright, so now that we have created that information, we're going to go back to the computer. So take your SD card out, put it back in the computer. Alright, so now that we're back at the computer, we're going to be opening up the file we downloaded again. You're going to want to go to, I believe, folder number 2. Yeah. And you're going to have this DBS folder. You don't need to care about what's in it, you just need to know where it is. So you're going to go into your SD card. You're going to click on Nintendo 3DS and click on the folders inside of it until you get to the folder, until you get to where ext data is. Once you're in that folder, you're going to want to drop DBS in the same folder as it. So this random string, this folder. So just drop it in the folder with ext data. Alright, so now that you did so now you're going to want to go to the SD root folder. and just copy that all to the root of the SD card. I believe, yes, you replace that. Alright. So now that you did that, we're going to take our SD card out and put it back in our 3DS. So, see you there. Alright, now that we're back on our SD card, we're going to be going to a website. Well, actually, there's this one step, because I did this and it would not record correctly. But so you're going to have to do this, except I'm not going to. So you're going to want to go to data management, and I'm going to have the flash on because we're going to be going to a dark part. And my camera is absolute garbage. So you're going to want to go to data management. Jesus Christ, this is blinding. Nintendo 3DS and software. Now what's going to happen is there's going to be this message that pops up on the bottom screen that's saying like, oh, your SD management information is corrupted. Would you like to reset it? And a little button's going to appear. You're going to want to press reset. Now, of course, I can't because I already did it, except the friggin' app would not stop recording. So you just want to do that. Now, as I try to get over the blinding flash of this flash, that it's like reflecting off the 3DS, you're going to want to then go into the browser. Now you're going to add a bookmark for this site. It's going to be called launch.rxtools.net, what I tried launching in the beginning, but realized I should have gone to the gateway site. I already put a bookmark for it, because again, it crashed. And here's my bookmark for it. It's going to be on screen right here, launch.rxtools.net. You're going to want to launch that after you put all those SD root files onto your SD card. And launching that, it should load rxtools.dat. Now in here, it's going to say installing some data, and it's going to press, like, say, press A to exit. You just let it install that data real quick. It's not going to take too long. Oh, crap. I did not press R quick enough. I'm going to reset my 3DS because I do not have an RX mode yet. Well, actually, I do, but I don't want to use it. Sorry about that. Just relaunch RX Tools. No biggie. Looks at my frickin' camera. And we're just going to go to Internet Browser again and launch RX Tools. And now you're going to want to press R after it finishes installing. It's going to come to this menu. You're going to want to press or hold R. So then you're going to come to this little menu here, which is freaking impossible to see here. That's a good position. So you're going to want to go all the way down to other options. You're going to see a little blue arrow representing where you are. You won't be able to see it because purple. Right there, other options. You're going to be presented with this menu with 3 options. You're going to go to the second option, install FBI or health and safety app. Press A on that, and it's going to come up with asking what NAND you want to use, SysNAND or EmuNAND. Press Y for for EmuNAND. You do not want to do it on SysNAND. So just press Y. It's going to attempt to install it, which it won't be able to, just because we want to take note of this information. You're going to see region and TMD version. You're going to take notes of these for when we get back to the computer, because we're going to have to select files in a folder relevant to it. But mine's is USA 2051, and yours is going to be something different. But it's going to be in that folder, and you want to take note of that. Alright, so let's move over to the computer after we just press back and shut down RX Tools by pressing Start. And head back to the computer. So now that we're back on our computer after completing that step, we're going to go over here to CFW EmuNAND tutorial, that folder. We're going to want to go to the third step, and into FBI injection, you're going to see all these. So now here's where that information you took down will be relevant, so do whatever for your region, but mine was USA on 2051. And you're going to get these. Ignore these. You just want to copy these actual files, so the .app file and the .tmd, and you're going to want to copy that onto the root. Alright, so now that we have that, we're just going to go right back to the computer. Or, sorry, not the computer, the 3DS. Alright, so now we're back on our 3DS. We're going to be launching RX Tools again, so hopefully you have a bookmark made to make this quicker, and it's at, again, launch.rxtools.net. I know we're going to want to launch RX Tools, and we're actually going to be doing 2 steps here. So we're going to be going into our actual EmuNAND and updating it, and then we're going to be installing the SIA thing. So press R, and press Launch RX Mode in EmuNAND. See it right there? It's going to be the first option. And you see that is going to launch our EmuNAND. Now, what our EmuNAND is, it's like this kind of version. It's a separate version of our SysNAND, except we could do anything with it, and it's held on the SD card. It's not separate, except it is. Now, we are actually going to be delinking the two, so we could do things like have custom themes and stuff on your EmuNAND, so it's going to act like a completely different version of the 3DS OS. But, so your EmuNAND is going to look exactly the same as your SysNAND. You just want to go into the settings. Now, how you could tell you were on your EmuNAND, because it's going to look exactly the same, is right here. In the options, you're going to be on RX 3D 9. Whatever. Anyway, so now here's... Now, make God sure, before doing the next step, that you are in system settings and it says RX up in here. Because if you update your system, have fun with your brick, because that thing's going to be useless. Well, not literally a brick, but in hackable terms, have fun with your brick. So you're going to want to go to Other Settings. You want to go over to System Update in the options. Again, make sure you are on EmuNAND. Press System Update. Press OK. Just accept. Let that guy update. Make sure you are connected to the internet, of course. And just let it update. Now it's going to take a little bit, so I'm going to get back to you. Alright, so it has finished. It may or may not have taken a bit for you, it really depends. So now, we may or may not be in our EmuNAND right now. I don't know, but it should have updated our EmuNAND. Alright, okay, so we're not in our EmuNAND. So you just want to go boot into RX Tools again. Now it's updated to the latest version, your EmuNAND, so you could play like online, go to the shop, stuff like that in your EmuNAND. Which, that is awesome. So we're just going to go right back into RX Tools. Oh, sorry. Under Bookmarks. Remember when you're, always remember when you're launching RX Tools to press R when this screen appears so you can launch it. Now, so you're going to have this menu appear, as always in RX Tools. We're not going to be launching our EmuNAND this time. We're going to be going down to Other Options again. And we're going to go down to Install FBI over Health and Safety app now. So remember back when we moved to the FBI kind of folder with the relevant information, that's what this was for. Now what this is going to let you do is install SIAs, which is basically the pirating portion of this. So just press A when you're over Install FBI over Health and Safety app. Make sure you press Y to install it to your EmuNAND. And it's going to do that. And press A to exit, press back, and now you have done that. And so pretty much now here's where you can drop off of the tutorial. You've pretty much done everything. You can now install CIAs through your you can now install CIAs through the health and safety app using FBI. Oh, it's probably gonna say preparing the home menu up here since you did update your EmuNAND. That might take a little bit. But basically, so now you could pretty much do any pirating. You should be able to install, I'm not actually sure because I haven't really tried, but I think you should be able to install any game from any region with this firmware. Whatever. You could install unsigned stuff, so it doesn't matter if it's a legit CIA or not. If you really want legit, you could just use that and just use your SysNAND, but there's no point in that. You could just install unlegit. I find unlegit still work online, which is kind of weird, but it works. Like Pokemon, Smash, they both worked online even though they were unlegit. Anyway, so you're gonna have your health and safety information here. I'm just gonna show you this little app here. So you're gonna want to press A on health and safety information. And basically, it has taken over this app, so say goodbye to your health and safety, and here is FBI. It's a dark little menu, and you can install CIAs with this now. I will be installing an example CIA, so you know how to do that. You can exit this just by pressing the home menu. It acts just like a regular 3DS app. See? And here's basically our FBI, so now actually the next step we're going to want to do is unlink these two guys. So I like having custom themes and stuff on my CIAs and having like a different Nintendo Network ID just in case like one gets banned and stuff for playing my pirated games online. So you're going to want to turn off your system, boot back into regular SysNAND. Now you can only do this, you don't have to unlink these, but I'm going to because it's really helpful in things, mostly custom themes, because I really like, or not custom themes, mostly for themes in general. But anyway, so you're gonna have right here system settings. Make sure, well, you don't have to make sure, but in SysNAND, you're gonna go to yeah, you are gonna want to make sure you're in SysNAND. You could tell again by just 9.2.0. You want to go to other settings. We're going to be formatting our system, and it basically unlinks the two. So format system memory. This will delete all save data, blah 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 blah. Now what you're actually going to want to make sure you do, if you do this, format your system to unlink the two. Take your SD card out, because it will format that SD card and all your work will be lost. So just take that SD card out. Keep pressing next, format, wish to format all, and it will format that for you. So you just want to wait. Now, really, there's no real repercussions to formatting. It checks the internet, I believe, to see if you can format or something, but it doesn't update it, as I actually feared. Like, I remember when I was doing this for the first time to unlink them, I was like, oh my god, is it going to update it? Am I going to have a brick? Well, not a brick again, but you know what I mean. But am I going to have a brick? Am I going to screw up the whole process? No, it does not, gladfully. I mean, Intel could do that if they wanted. Alright, so formatting completed quite quickly. You just breeze through the regular setup. And now you're going to see, put your SD card back in. I wasn't fast enough. Here. But so now when you turn this back on, you're actually going to see in your 3DS folder, you're going to have 2 entries instead of like like that remember when we installed the DB thing, you had that random, you had that like random bunch of strings. Yeah, basically sorry. Actually, yeah, look at that great effect, viewers at home. Anyway, and now is the part where we get to installing our Homebrew and menu hacks. So I'm actually going to get back to you on the PC now. See ya. Alright guys, so now we are on our good old PC, and we're going to be installing the Homebrew channel. Or, well, it's not really the Homebrew channel, is it? Homebrew launcher now. Anyway, so I'm going to have a link to the download below. We're going to be downloading the Homebrew starter kit, which that's going to be enough to let us launch it. I actually download that myself right now. On my other tab. Nope. Sorry, my computer's been on for a while, so it is kind of slow. But you're going to have this little starter file here. I'm actually going to unpack that to my desktop first, because it takes forever doing it otherwise. So you're going to want to unpack what was in there, put that onto the root of your SD card. This is going to install the prerequisites for Homebrew. Now actually sometimes it will not work for whatever reason. Sorry. So if it doesn't work, I can't take this window out, because Firefox is a slow piece of crap if you have a lot of tabs. Alright, so now we have our SD card prepared. Alright, so now your 3DS's SD card should have the Homebrew starter kit on it. And we're just going to go over to the web browser, because we're going to use ourselves some nice old browser hacks as our beginning entry point. Had to set this up since I formatted it earlier. And the link we're going to want to go to is, I have this memorized by heart, yls8.mtheall.com/sliderhacks. .php. So now, once you got that typed, you want to go to that, and you're going to be presented this little page with a little tiny slider, if my camera will ever decide to focus. Basically, all you're going to want to do is zoom in all the way into this web page, look at this little slider, and you're going to tap on the very edge. It might take a few tries to get. Sometimes it crashes, sometimes it doesn't. You might want to tap a few times like this to try to see where your cursor is going to land. You just want to get right on the edge. And if you don't do it right, it's going to crash. So it's really just a hell of a process, just doing it over and over again. And actually, if I don't get this to work this time, I'm going to do it off screen this time. But if I don't get it to work this time, I will show you another thing, because I think that is why it is not working for me. It may or may not be, or it may just be because I did not tap correctly. So enjoy your purple look at my computer. here we go. So it's gonna go like a bunch of colors. If you tap it correctly, you gotta tap it on the very edge. And it crashed. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to fix it if it keeps crashing like that. Actually, so you're gonna want to go to that. I'm gonna have a website in the description below that's gonna have a link. It's gonna have a link to. Sorry, I cannot think. I'm very tired. It's going to have a link to the file that you're gonna wanna, or what you're gonna wanna do. Actually, I'm gonna switch over to the computer. You're gonna wanna put your SD card in the computer. Alright, so now you're going to be on your 3DS here. And you're going to have your SD card in here. You're actually going to want to have your 3DS console on. You're going to want to make sure you're in SysNAND, because that's where we're going to be installing it on. You're going to want to go to the system settings of your SysNAND. I'm not going to be showing this because anyone could do that. Just go to your system settings. You're going to want to make check out what version your firmware is exactly. So it's going to be like blah 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 .9.2.0-20.u whatever. So here you're going to want to go here, have your 3DS on system settings open. You're going to see this little thing, download other app /ROP bin payloads. Now you're just going to type in that your firmware version. So old and new is obviously for old 3DSs, new 3DSs. So you're going to do 9, or just do whatever firmware you're on. Most people are on 9.2.0, and this part's going to be specific to whatever your 3DS is. So mine's is 20U, and you're going to want to download the ROP bin. Now, I actually believe you have to rename this to something special. Give me a moment, but just download that and put it on the root of your SD card. Just give me a moment. Alright, so after screwing around with it a bit, I figured out you need for it to be called that. I'll have that in the description. You're going to want to put that file right on your on the root of your SD card. And usually that fixes it, in my experience. So you just want to go back to your 3DS and try the same URL. Let's go. Alright, back to the 3DS it goes. This has been a long night. Well, not has been. It's still just a long night. So now you're going to want to go over to your internet browser and go to the same link with slider hacks. Remember, if once you did that and it's still not working, that's just you messing up on slider hacks. Just keep doing it. Remember, you got to get the very right zoom in all the way. And usually you should get it with just a few tries. Remember, so it's yls8.methal.com/sliderhacks. HAX.php. I'm going to do this off screen now because I can't do it correctly in that awkward position. Let's see. Nope, I think I just crashed it. Yay. Let's try again. Probably. yls8. So it looks like it wants to keep crashing on me. That's really great. Go to settings and delete your history and cookies. Usually, if it's messing up, that fixes it. If it's not just you messing up on slider hacks. Really, this is the hardest part of the tutorial. Just getting friggin' slider hacks to go your way. You really need to learn some finesse with slider hacks in the Except you only have to do slider hacks once, because then you get the glorious theme hacks installed, or sorry, menu hacks. Here we go. Alright, turn yellow, gray, yellow. Don't crash, please. Here we go, boys. Homebrew channel, or Homebrew launcher. So you should probably look up a video on how to master the slider hacks. It's really not that hard once you get used to it. There's a few tips on doing it. You really just gotta learn that yourself. Make sure you download that payload. I'm pretty sure you need that. Make sure it's equivalent to the same thing as your version. And here you're gonna have this whole list of stuff that comes with the thing. You just want to go to Menu Hacks Manager version 2.2. Press A on that. This is what's going to be our key to booting into our EmuNAND without going to the internet each time. So you're going to have this little list of menus, and you just want to click on the install option. It's going to go through this. Make sure you're on the basic theme when you do this. Well, you don't have to. I think it automatically does it, but make sure you have created theme data, and you can't change your SysNAND theme once you do this, or it will you will have to reinstall and go through slider hacks again. Alright, so it's just going to be a big jumble of text. Really, that's all you got to do, and then you just got to hold L once you boot, and you'll boot into the Homebrew launcher. Usually, I like changing the button to X because my L button's broken. You could do that by going over to, you can't see this text, but configure, check, hacks, trigger buttons, press A, type 1, hold X, press the touch screen. You do that, change the Menu Hacks main screen image display, press A, default image, I like that image. Then you could just basically you don't have to do that, you probably won't do that. Basically once you're done, just press B and start. And you just installed Menu Hacks. So then we're gonna use another point here to be able to install this little menu I like to use, and that boots you straight into your EmuNAND. So I believe you could just press like start from here. No, wait, select. Okay, you can press start to reboot into the console from Homebrew launcher. Actually, just turn it off directly. Once you turn it off directly, while powering it up, just hold L, hold it until you get into the Homebrew launcher. You're going to have like the colors flash up. Do not let go of L until the Homebrew launcher comes up, because it has not finished its payload. I'm going to be pressing X, but just to show you that Menu Hacks is installed, I could hold X, you would hold L, unless you changed it. And I'm going to get this nice little pretty Menu Hacks loader image. You're going to get a bunch of scrambled mess, unless you did what I did. It's quite a nice image. Sometimes it'll get stuck on like yellow or whatever. Just turn it off, try it again. Just make sure you are able to successfully boot into Homebrew launcher at least once before you do this, just so we know everything's working and you won't blame whatever the next thing is. Just gotta get that Menu Hacks working. I'll hold it again. Here we go. And we have Menu Hacks, or Homebrew launcher. Really quite a nice thing there. So now we are going to go back to the computer, because we are going to be changing what we are actually booting off of. So, see there. Alright, so back here on the computer, we're going to have a file called boot.cfg and boot.3dsx. Now, we're going to be using, this is our little menu here that we're going to be booting off of. So currently boot.3dsx is what we were booting off of, and this basically launches the Homebrew launcher by default. Except we want to put in our custom boot, because what it's going to do is it's going to be able to launch our RX tool. Is going to be able to launch that. Now, so in here, you're going to have boot.3dsx and boot.cfg. You could open boot.cfg in like any editor, and it'll have your configuration here. So actually, I removed that. That was me messing around. So I have RX mode, EmuNAND, Homebrew launcher, menu, whatever. It's quite a nice little menu, actually, that we're going to be using. You're going to want to make sure that RX mode is correct, so you're going to want to go to your SD card, RX tools, and I actually do not have the sys folder. I'm going to fix that real quick. Alright, we're actually going on an adventure here. I downloaded a nightly version of RX tools, and we're going to see if that works. Not actually sure if it will work. So I believe we could just go in here, drop that in, because I know we do need the sys files. I believe, yeah, so it wants it under sys.code.bin. It does in fact add code.bin. So you're just going to drop that into your RX tools folder. Alright. So right here, we're also under, right here, boot.3dsx. You're going to want to rename this to whatever you're going to have as your boot file for the Homebrew channel. I'm going to have mine as boot_hb .3dsx. So this is what's going to boot the Homebrew. I actually got to fix that name. I couldn't stand it. That was annoying. Whoever made this menu bad default. Anyway, so now you should actually, yes. Oh, I forgot to do that. So now just drag these files in. So make sure you did rename your previous boot.3dsx. So now menu hacks is going to boot off this, which should boot the menu, and the menu should boot into our EmuNAND. So let's go try it on our 3DS. Will just replacing RX tools work? Because remember, I did have one that worked. It was a different version of RX tools, I know. I have no idea what version, but I know this worked. Actually, the reason I did this tutorial in the first place was, sorry. The reason I did this tutorial in the first place was because I needed to unlink a Nintendo ID from the system I forgot the password to. So I would have had to start from the beginning, so I get rid of from my old system NAD, old EmuNAND that had the Nintendo Zone ID, and you can't really format that. Let's see if RX Tools works. Oh, it works. It works. Yeah. Alright, just to prove that's RX Tools, let's go into FBI. Alright, yeah. That worked. So I'm going to be including that RX Tools in the description. I'm probably going to be cutting a lot of the parts where I was unsuccessful. This video is going to be hell to edit, man. Anyway, so now we have our working bootable from start, or you gotta hold down X, but It's a bootable from start. I don't really bother with cold boots. They're pretty annoying, and I like having access to the Homebrew launcher like that. You could look into cold boots by yourself if you want to really learn that. But so now we're just able to boot into our EmuNAND with relative ease. So now let's learn how to install a SIA. Now, this is the fun part, where you get to pirate everything with your pirated 3DS ISO account. No, but I'll see you on the computer. Alright, so here's the fun SIA part. So we can really download any SIA. You could get password, or I don't get why people use passwords for 3DS ISO, just sign up. Jeez, I really hate Camtasia. It makes this thing dog slow. And my computer is usually like blazing fast. I don't have any slow down issues ever. Except when I'm using Camtasia. Except my PC has been on for like 3 weeks without shutting down. So that could probably be contributing to it. Jesus. Oh. Do I not have a connection to the internet? Wait. Okay, yeah, I do. Maybe 3DS ISO is just down. Let's see. Okay, 3DS ISO just seems to be down. Here. Wait, let me do let's install the Homebrew launcher as a SIA. Which, well, it thinks it's a Homebrew launcher, but it will just launch our little boot menu. And I'm just doing this because it's a small little SIA that we could download. Here we go. Also, I'm just saying this now. It's probably gonna be in the description. This is probably a really long video by now, but half that whole menu thing, that's probably not gonna work on the new Nintendo 3DS. So I've seen conflicting reports about it. Anyway, oh crap! No, I downloaded the source. Oopsie doodle. No, I downloaded that. Oh, no, I didn't. Here we go. So here we have our Lucid SIA file. This is your key to the pirate world. So usually I like to make a folder on my SD card called just SIA. And I just put all my SIA dumps in there. So we're going to dump our Homebrew launcher.cia in there. And I will show you how to install this file. So let's go back to the 3DS. Alright, so you're going to want to boot into your EmuNAND or your CFW, which you should really know how to do by now. If not, you have not been following this tutorial very clearly. Just boot into our RX. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into the quote-unquote health and safety app, which is now at the FBI SIA installer. I'm thinking if I should include a part of this video where I show you how to convert .3ds files to SIAs. It's a pretty cool process. This video would make a ton of views if I added that in. Anyway, so we have this little folder named SIA right there. I can't focus because this is the most retarded camera app ever, but you got SIA there. In this folder you can navigate pretty much anything. Just press A to go to a folder. We're going to go to our SIA folder. You're going to see our little Homebrew launcher. You press A to install it. Press A again to confirm that you want to. It's going to have a little install thing at the top. Press start to continue, You just quit that, and CIAs basically act as like eShop files, so you're going to have a present on your home menu. And here's our present, and it's the Homebrew launcher. So every other CIA installs just like that, except the other CIAs take 10 years to install for games. But just to prove that it works, this is going to act, well, it's going to try to boot into the Homebrew launcher, but it's going to boot into our menu that we set up, since that is the boot.3dsx file. See, but you could then use that to then boot into the Homebrew launcher. So say I want my Pokemon hacks here, Homebrew launcher. It's quite useful if you just want to do something quick and you're already in your EmuNAND, sorry. Alright. So that's how to install CS. So now I'm thinking, anything else that needs to be done? I am probably going to show you how to convert. Now, I'm a bit lazy on that, alright? So actually, I think that's going to be the end of this video. This is really long. I should probably go edit that now. Anyway, this has been TryGex, and that has been how to install everything. Now, with the CIAs, you go on 3DSi, so the Pirate Bay. Actually, the Pirate Bay has ROMs. You can just Google how to convert a .3ds into a .cia. It's a really easy process. It does require 3ds, though, and some conversion stuff with the Homebrew channel. But really, that's it. It's such a fun, it's an awesome process once you get this whole thing working. You just download anything, any 3DS game ever made, and it works great. Anyway, so this has been TryGex here, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Give it a like or something, because this thing is not going to be fun to edit. Thank you for watching.